What's up, guys? What's up? So how's everybody? Well, I had a funny day. So here we are doing a live stream. I hope everybody hears me okay. And I lost my partner. I don't know where he went. I told him 5 o'clock, and um, that's kind of how my day's been. Anyway, happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Hey, what's up? I see everybody. What's going on? Shamir, Ryan, what's up? What's up? Anybody remember Romper Room? When you look in the mirror, I see Joey, I see Sally, I see so and so. So what's up, guys? Uh, Everything is cool. Happy Friday. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. This was really kind of an impromptu thing, so very sort of last minute. So thank you for joining. Yeah. What else is happening? How's everybody's week? How's everybody's Friday? Bring back the still photo. Why am I too unattractive to have to look at? I'm not sure what that means. So what's happening? How is everybody? Let's see if I can tweak this a little bit. Checkity check, 1, 2. All is well. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, all. Boy, does it feel good to have a Friday. Okay, so what's up? 007 Hub, good to see you. John Goldeneye, what's going on? Brian Sheridan, what's going on? Another roller coaster week. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why the beard, Frank Wilson? I don't, I kind of, you know, I kind of enjoy having mental bookends, and I kind of like the idea that I can kind of, highlight the fact that we were quarantined and all this stuff, somehow. And, I've always been sort of a lazy shaver anyway. I kind of always have the 5 o'clock shadow. So I figured, let me give it a shot, see what it looks like. So, we'll see. 007 Hub. Friday is like any other day for me. Joe Exotic has gotten out of jail. That bitch Carol Baskins. Scott's waiting for happy hour. Seriously, where is I literally just talked to Scott like this afternoon. Well, here's the story. So here's where we're at. In fact, I'll tell you what. Why don't I just kind of change my frame a little bit? So basically, Scott and I were going to film Skyfall today, as you could probably tell by my background if you can see it. One more little tweak. All right, let's try that. We'll save the frames until Scott gets here. So here we go. So basically, Scott and I, get David to let Scott out of the trunk. That's exactly what it is. Boy, this really is impromptu, so I apologize. I'm a little disheveled. So Scott, and by the way, today is Scott's birthday. So when he gets here, be sure to say happy birthday, say hello. So basically Scott and I set today aside. He took today off. We were going to record Skyfall. So you get a little hint from what's behind me, what we had in store for today. I just had sort of one thing after another today. So, we put it off. And then finally, and by the way, and Scott was like, are we going to do another live stream? So I said, yeah, we could do that. So I figured, why the hell not? So I figured, it's Friday. We just need something to do. Tomorrow's Pierce Brosnan's birthday. Yes, it is. Sing Scott a happy birthday. So wait till he gets here to tell him happy birthday. But thank you. Chris Robinson, what's going on, brother? Anyway, long story short is I had a lot of stuff going on today, and finally Scott was actually the one who said it. He said, "Do you want to postpone the video and we'll do the live stream?" I could tell after last week that Scott kind of enjoys doing the live streams, or at least I thought so. I don't know where he went, so it might be just us for a little while. Let me switch over to here so I can see. Skyfall. Skyfall is my favorite Bond film. Skyfall is my favorite. A lot of favorites. I like Skyfall a lot. Mark Waldman gets a bad rap. Does it get a bad rap? I don't know. I would easily call it the second favorite, Craig. Yeah, here's a question. What do you guys think of Skyfall? Why don't we talk about it? I think I will probably be that guy. Walter Kessler. Oh my goodness, I even got Melinda on here today. Cool. Hey Melinda, what's up, Walt? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. My Walter Kessler, my one of my closest friends from high school, going back a long way. Let's see. Skyfall, a little too cookie cutter. I heard that. See, I think Skyfall. I think it kind of breaks with a lot of tradition, frankly. For example, who's the Bond girl of Skyfall? I think 007 Hub, massive plot holes. Boy, that's true. Yeah, Skyfall is an interesting one. It really does. It's not a perfect Bond film, but boy, does it look like one. You know? Excuse me. Yeah, it's I would say it's not a perfect film. The Murtaugh. Yeah, I mean, Skyfall is tricky because again, I think it's a great, competent movie, but yeah, it's a little limited in terms of plot. I think it's derivative of what was kind of popular at the time, and Emma's the Bond girl. Yes, John Riggs. There you go. Emma's certainly the Bond girl. I agree with that, and I think it's a weird one, isn't it? Very weird in that respect that M is the Bond girl of Skyfall, and again, a little odd. They do the reversal on the attack on the fortress. Now they're doing it backwards, which is sort of that Home Alone thing where they're coming after Bond as opposed to Bond going after the bad guy. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, is it a gorgeous film though. Craig movies released in order. That's your order of how you like them, Chris Robinson. Casino, then Quantum, then Skyfall, then Spectre. Jack Lugo, what's going on? Hope you guys listened to my interview with Jack this morning. Spectacular. Boy, does he know his stuff. He knows his James Bond stuff. I loved Skyfall when it first came out, but it's gone down for me. I've grown to appreciate Quantum more over the years. So I would rank, Quantum as my second favorite Craig film, with Skyfall as my third. So that's the thing. I mean, it's interesting. But see, here's the thing. It's interesting to me how Quantum didn't come up until Spectre came out. So I almost sort of feel like, well, is that really an accurate, fair way to look at it? It's Home Alone or Straw Dogs. What's up, Mark Ashby? How's it going, brother? Severine is amazing, stunning. Sadly, she meets Bond and dies. Yep. She is certainly the sacrificial lamb. So, yeah, so if Quantum only got better in people's eyes after Spectre, is that fair? And Skyfall was always pretty high up in people's minds, and it sort of didn't budge, I don't think. So, listen, it's not like I got a vendetta against Quantum. I mean, I think Quantum is a fine film. I will certainly pick at it for its weaknesses. But, yeah, and it's interesting because, like, again, Skyfall... See, I sort of have a funny relationship with films with bad plots. If it's got a bad plot, but it can kind of paint over the cracks well enough, I mean, if I sort of fall for it the second viewing before I start to go, hey, wait a second, then I kind of feel like it's sort of done its job, and I'm sort of willing to give it a pass. Quantum, I kind of, like, I saw the chinks in the armor the first time I saw it, like, quite literally. I mean, literally came out of the theater and kind of going, okay, well, there was that. Zachary Ansel, Skyfall is 50% of why I wanted to get involved in filmmaking, since I saw it and Carrie by Brian De Palma around the same time. You saw Carrie in 2012 for the first time? Interesting. Listen, yeah, Skyfall is a stunning film. It is stunning to look at. It's moody. I mean, that's just great. I love that. So, yeah, I'm kind of very willing to give it passes sometimes where maybe it doesn't quite deserve it. I mean, I think anybody can look at the Silva plot and say, oh, well, wait a second there. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And, yeah, I've absolutely been down that road with this film. Mark Waldman, Skyfall is a very watchable film, even for non-Bond fans. There you go. Yeah, listen, I think Skyfall is stunning to look at. I feel like, and by the way, I just saw Skyfall. Boy, it feels like forever ago, but it was only in late February, March, April, May. I mean, that's hard to believe that was only 3 months ago, because I feel like with everything going on in the world and the world of James Bond, I mean, this year's, I feel like it's taken 2 years already. But yeah, so seeing Skyfall on the big screen was spectacular. All right, I'm getting Scott's finally showed up. I should have told him earlier. So let me just bring in Scott. Hey, little Trekkie, thank you, brother. Thank you so much. That was cool. That was really cool. Thank you. $5. Awesome. Love it. And films, they should tell us about the gadgets, or he should just pull it out. Should they tell us about the gadgets? See, it's interesting when they come into play. Although, again, I almost feel like in Skyfall, the gadgets are sort of the gadgets in Skyfall, to me, is almost plot hole-ish. Because in my mind, it's like, really? A radio that's this big, huh? You know? All right. Hang on. I hear you and I see you. I hear you and see you. And by the way, okay. Oh, you're fine. Just so you know. Well, we are. You will be live momentarily. Yeah, we hit the button at 4:00. So let me get you situated. No, quite all right. Are you ready? All right, don't stick your finger in your nose, because we're bringing you in. Everybody, say hello to Scott. How's it going, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I am good. I am very glad it's Friday. I'll tell you that. How's the
Oh,
audio?
me
Any
too.
echo? We got any echoes or
Yeah, how is? Can you guys hear me and stuff?
Scott's, yes.
We're all good.
About to make a dramatic entrance. I see the little lag on
Dun,
YouTube.
dun, dun, dun.
You missed the dude. You missed the intro I made.
Really? So, what was the intro?
I did a little gun barrel with the dots, and I had the Honor Majesty's music to it.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that in the replay.
There you go. Yeah, actually, technically you wouldn't have seen it probably.
Right.
Cool.
I should have been watching along, but I was like sort of tinkering over here, trying to get my tech stuff all together. You know?
Yeah. Are you watching the YouTube feed at all, by the way?
I am not at this moment.
Because you are getting a lot of happy birthdays.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you very much. That's really neat.
Yep. Cool. Audio is great. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Shane Mackey, Suzanne, Van Berkham, Oliver. Thank you, guys. A lot of nice happy birthdays. John Simmons.
Oh, thank you.
David DeGuest, Commander Bond. Yeah, a lot of happy birthdays, Scott.
Thank you. Very cool.
Awesome.
And in honor, I got some since it's a happy hour.
Cool.
I got some Drambuie here.
Oh, very nice.
And since our next review is going to be Skyfall, I figured this is from the Isle of Skye. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. I actually got this from my buddy Gary. He bought this from my my liquor collection there. And then he proceeded to drink almost more than half of it.
That's funny. Oh, cool. Oh boy, it's a happy Friday, along with happy birthday.
Oh yeah, awesome that it's Friday. So awesome.
Yeah, and hey, there's my brother Michael. My brother Michael's happy birthday. Walter Kessler, a guy you might know, also said happy birthday.
Yeah, I know. I think I know that guy.
He said, "Where do I get a hat and shirt just like Scott's?" Well, just for you.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get this hat and this shirt. Let me tell you.
This is true. Scott has paid his being James Bond dues in spades, my friend. Oh boy, Scott has been there literally from the beginning.
You know, we had like we talked about this before, but it kind of started in 2006 there when you had the seed of an idea, or it might have been earlier. It might have been even 2005. Well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, when you had the seed of an idea, which I thought was great, and then we just kind of did a few podcasts, and it grew from there. You actually did, the lion's share. I just kind of was a guest stint for a little
You're
bit.
my go-to guy for all things movies and film review, etc.
James Bond. Yeah, right.
Seriously, well, I like literally my. Yeah, I mean, I probably was talking to you about it in 2005, but yeah, 2006 was when I bit the bullet, and it was only my third episode where Casino came out and we did a review.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was amazing
Yeah.
too. That whole Casino Royale experience.
Yeah,
You know?
very much so. Yep. I got a question. What's Scott's top Connery? I don't know. Should we save that? Maybe we should save that for your.
The ranking.
Yep. Well, people probably already.
Yeah,
I mean, we can talk about it.
you know what? You go for it. Yeah. If you're here, it's kind of like a sort of this was like sort of an impromptu kind of a live stream. So my favorites from Russia with Love.
There you go.
I think that it can't be beat. It's just it's got that Fleming-esque flavor.
Yes.
It's impeccably cast. It's got that first John Barry score, and it seems fresh, and it still works. Nowadays. Yeah. Just everything. Terrence Young at his peak. There's so many adjectives I could use to describe the film as how much I love it. But that's even apart from the James Bond canon, I think it's a great movie. Yeah. It's like in my top. It's got to be in my top 5.
I would say so. I mean, it's easy. Yeah, I mean, it's got that whole North by Northwest feel. It's a good smoky, kind of a movie. Yeah, it's spectacular.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Right. They actually smoke cigarettes in that. It's pretty cool.
Brian G says Scott likes A View to a Kill. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's funny though. I'd probably rather watch that than watch, say, like Quantum of Solace again. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I mean, that's got a good John Barry score. I mean, it's not all terrible. I mean, Quantum has a good David Arnold score, but I don't know that frenzy kinetic action. I don't know. I can take the View to Kill you can have kind of fun with a little bit, even if it's even when it's kind of bad, it's kind of fun,
True.
Whereas Quantum is just kind of bad.
Yeah. Brian Sheridan says closest to Hitchcock. I would agree with that. Walter Kastler says train fight. Yeah, I mean the train fight. How are you going to beat that?
Oh yeah, no, that is amazing. Yeah. That is like just a wonderful piece of cinema. Period.
Big time.
It really is. I mean, Peter Hunt was way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I mean, it's hard. We take it for granted now, but I mean, at the beginning, these films were, again, very much ahead of their time, pioneers in the modern blockbuster.
They were revolutionary because people weren't filming movies like that with that kind of pace. It was kind of they were sort of bringing it on big time, and they were very much adult entertainment. It wasn't like bringing the whole family type of thing. It was you hired a babysitter and you went out and you saw this.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I would agree with that. Absolutely. So throw out some questions for Scott. It's a nice treat that we get you on here. And we'll probably do this if not next week, very very soon when we do our Skyfall review. So we'll do our Skyfall review. Come out with another another live cast afterwards, so we can.
Oh, that'd be great. That sounds like a lot of fun.
So everybody can tell us if we're crazy.
By then you'll all be sick of me and you'd be like, "Oh, this guy again." God.
Oh, it's fun.
It's like a bad penny. He always turns up.
Roy Ludwig, late to the stream. Happy birthday, Scott.
Thank you very much.
Very View to a Kill Golden Gate fight song was good because of the guitar sound effect. Yeah, I think the score from A View to a Kill is great. I really love it.
Oh, it is. And you know what? That Golden Gate fight is probably the best scene in the film, my personal opinion. But it's too little too late.
Yeah,
by that time I'm already checked out. Yeah. But as a scene unto itself, I think it's great.
It's great when I mean I love when a film like a lot of times in the Bond film I kind of feel that the third act kind of loses a little steam. So it's nice when it goes out on a high note, when the climax really does come at the end.
I had this theory for a while that a movie could be your movie could just be okay and you could save it if you had a great third act. But maybe A View to a Kill proves that does not quite the case.
Well, I like it a little more than you do, but it's one of those films where like the people who don't like it, it's like I hear you. I can't really argue with you. It's just, but for some reason I like it a little better than some.
I mean, it's got Christopher Walken in it as a villain, and Patrick McNee from the Avengers. It's got John Steed. John Steed's in it, with James Bond, and they're palling around. How could it not be good?
And they bounce off each other spectacularly.
Those scenes with him are good. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, so it's not all bad. It's not all bad. It really is.
It's a lot of fun, but you do have to sort of absorb the idea that like we said, it gets cartoony in ways. Some of the characters are very caricaturish, a little over the top.
Yes.
If you make peace with that, I think it's okay. Um,
You know, I think for me, I was spoiled because from the Roger Moore era, from Live and Let Die, all the way up to Octopussy, I loved all those
yeah,
films. You know, in varying degrees, but
sure,
I loved them
yeah,
all. And this is the first one I walked out. I was like,
yeah,
oh, you know. But yeah, it's still yeah, I still watch it. I'll probably watch it another half dozen times before
yeah.
I shuffle off. You know, so
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, good points.
yeah,
Mark Waldman, what
yeah.
do you think of Henry Cavill based on his work in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and the last Mission Impossible film?
I love the Man from Uncle remake. I was surprised that I know it didn't do
Mm,
well, but I thought the music score was great. I thought those two guys were great. I thought the action scenes were a little choppy for me with the action scenes, but I thought the action scenes were a
yeah,
little
yeah,
choppy. But I love that. I love the flavor of it and the period it took place in. Underrated movie,
yeah.
I
I would
think.
agree.
And I think he would make a great James Bond. I really like. I felt like although Justice League was a mess, I thought near the end of that, I thought he was really starting to hit it as
Mm,
Superman.
yeah,
So I would love to see him as another and Superman. And then there's talk about him coming back as Superman. So I don't know about him
yeah,
doing James Bond. So right now everything's up in the
mm,
air.
yeah,
Everything's crazy nowadays anyway with what's going
yeah.
on.
Right,
So
right. With
yeah.
movies and the studios and stuff. Yeah, no, it is crazy.
Right.
I
Right.
kind of think Cavill would be great, frankly, and I think
He
yeah,
would.
and I'm sure because I'm kind of out of the loop. Like I'm sure there's a lot of great TV shows that are happening right now and that I'm not watching. So I'm sure people would
Mhm.
like throw out names to me, be like, "Oh, this guy would be better." I'm like, maybe." Um, but I think Cavill's much. I find Cavill to be very listenable when he's not doing an American accent, especially like you said in Justice League, he's doing Superman. It's like, how do you get a boring flat Superman? And they found a way. But I do agree that once they kind of let him lighten up a little bit, it seemed a little bit
Yeah.
easier. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's just following, the tone of the script. It's very dour and
yeah,
dark, which I just that's not Superman for me.
yeah,
But I felt like they started to lighten him up in Justice League.
yeah.
But again, it was again. I said again.
I was on the phone.
Dude, look what you're
I
doing
was
to
on the
me.
phone with Zabriskie not 2 hours ago, and he said again once or twice, and he's like, dude, look what you're doing to me. I'm saying it again all the time.
I know. Oh, by the way, what are you drinking? Are you drinking anything?
Yeah, I have a glass of wine.
I'm gonna have I'm not gonna go nuts here, but I'm just gonna have just a little bit of a shot, like I have a shot of this stuff. This Drambuie, my buddy Gary introduced it to me. It's the first time I had it, but it's quite good. It's like a Scotch whiskey,
Okay.
and it's a little honey and herbs and spices in
Yeah.
it. Very
I'm
good.
trying to remember
Yeah.
like what when we were.
Cheers, old boy.
Cheers, brother. I'm trying to remember like when I was bartending. What was the drink with Drambuie? I think a Rusty Nail might have had Drambuie in it.
You might be right. I'm not 100% on that. Oh boy.
Good stuff.
Woohoo!
Scott's
Yeah,
feeling
ooh,
good.
that was good. Yeah.
Uh,
I also got my standby here, the dragon's milk, so I should be completely shattered by the end of this.
mm,
Right?
very good. There. What else we got here? Would Billy Zane from Titanic make a good Bond villain? I don't see why not. I haven't seen him
Yeah,
in anything
sure.
lately, so I don't know what he looks like these days.
Yeah.
Rusty Nail Cocktail. Yes, I think Ryan 007 is correct.
Oh yeah.
Maestro
Okay. Cool.
007, what's up? How's it going, brother? Good to see you. Scott, how do you feel about Max Zorin? Do you like his psychotic side?
That's an interesting one because I love Christopher Walken. I'm not crazy about Max Zorin though. I don't know why. I like the premise of Max Zorin. I don't know. I just don't think I don't quite buy it though in the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it doesn't quite work for me. I don't know.
Well, so, yeah,
I think part of the whole Max Zorin thing is that stupid mad scientist doctor that's kind of like with a monocle. We talked about this in the review, but it's just like it's such a cliche doctor, and I have trouble getting behind that whole thing.
yeah. No,
Like Mad Doctor.
yeah, I would agree with that. Joe, have you had time to check out Score the Podcast this week? I have not, but I will definitely do that. I'm very interested in that. There was another one I saw that went past. Where did that go?
So Score the Podcast. I don't know if I'm familiar with that. What is
New
that?
podcast, yeah, about film scores. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Oh, cool. I got to check it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Where did I see there was a great? Oh, here we go. Cameron McCulloch. If you had to delete, I kind of feel like this would be really obvious for me. But if you had to
Hmm?
delete one film from each actor, which would you choose? Now I'm curious.
Okay.
Now, when you say delete, do you get
I
to? Does that
know.
mean you get to replace it with
I
another
know.
one?
I
Go
know.
ahead.
You know what? At first, I thought, oh, I know you're Connery, but there could be two choices. I think
No,
for
you
the
know my
Connery
Connery.
ones. Well, is it? Are we talking about non-Eon too?
Uh no. If
Going
we'll
with that,
just yeah,
but
just for just Dion.
oh, just Eon. Ooh, I find that kind of tough because I like all the Connery ones. I guess if forced, I'd have to go with Diamonds. I guess
Mm. What about the other
for
guys?
Connery.
What about?
Let's see. Roger Moore, View to a Kill. Ooh, now it gets tough because Timothy Dalton. I only have two
Mm,
choices. Well, with Lazenby, we can't. You
right.
know, he's only got one. Uh, I guess I'll say License to
I, was,
Kill. I mean, I really like that, but
I
you
can see
know,
it's paining you to say it, but
yeah, that hurt. That
yeah.
hurt. Let's see. Brosnan. Oh, Tomorrow Never Dies. Will we get Die Another Day? Tomorrow Never Dies. Tomorrow Never Dies.
Really?
Um,
Wow, that
yeah,
surprises me. I think,
I know.
yeah. Let's see. 007 Hub said Diamonds, Moonraker, The Living Daylights, Die Another Day, Spectre. I'm with you for a couple of those. I mean, mine's. I feel like mine's just so easy. Um, Diamonds. Honestly, well, I'll tell you what.
Because you're very discreet about what you
Yeah,
don't
right.
like. And so,
I usually play my cards so close to the vest, and somehow these slipped out. I'll tell you what. The
yeah.
easy ones for me would be Diamonds, Die Another Day, Spectre. I mean, that to me is easy. For Roger, I tell you what, I would actually and License to Kill. But honestly, as I'm saying that, I would hope that if I'm deleting one, it means I would get a chance to replace it with another. Because I think Dalton would be spectacular. I really would have loved to see his third one. He would have been great.
So,
Um,
oh, that's
I'll tell you what though, for
fantastic.
Roger, I don't know. I'm kind of hard pressed because I kind of feel like, A View to a Kill. It's goofy, it's corny, but I do enjoy a lot of it as opposed to something like Golden Gun that I find to just be kind of so bland and empty that I sort of feel like if you're gonna think about delete as hitting like a reset button, I would love to reset that one and just say try it again. It's almost like your first draft. I like where you're going, but take another run at it. I kind of like yeah.
I
Golden
mean,
Gun is not bad.
It's got Christopher Lee in it, so I could never
Yeah.
take that. I mean, I was thinking about you're doing your Bond challenge, and
Yeah.
every day you've got a new Bond thing, and I think you did your favorite villain, which surprised me a little bit, was Silva from
Mm.
Skyfall. And I thought about it. I said, "What's my favorite?" And the answer it was Scaramanga. I
Nice.
mean, it's not the best movie,
Okay.
but he's my favorite villain, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah, Chris Lee.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, that was it was interesting too because the way those Bond 25 the challenges were,
Mhm.
it was great because they had already asked you like, well, what's your favorite Blofeld? They already asked you what's your favorite henchman. So it almost felt like a little bit of a cheat that I already talked about like my faceless Blofeld and I talked about Red Grant. So by the time I got around to just plain old villain, I was able to do Silva. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Scaramanga is pretty damn impressive. I mean, I kind of feel like even then he's probably not fully utilized the way he could, but he's got some really good scenes.
Yeah, Lee is
Yeah.
fantastic in it. He really is, as he usually is. I mean, I've seen Christopher Lee in the most worst movies. I remember I think, The Howling 2, Your
Mm.
Sister's a Werewolf.
Yeah,
The movie's terrible. And he's the only one that sort of gets out of the whole thing with dignity intact,
yeah. There you
So
go.
he's just a great
Yep.
actor.
I saw an interesting one. What would you think of a one-off Timothy Dalton film with Bond as in his old age?
I would love that.
Right?
I would love that. I was recently kind of mulling over and Never Say Never Again. And I said, what a great movie that we got here in terms of it shouldn't have never been made. And we kind of got to peek in at I think it was 12 years
Yeah.
later, we got to peek in and see what the Sean Connery Bond again.
Mm.
So, and I think that's kind of neat. I mean, as whatever flaws that movie has, and there's plenty of them, it's neat that we have that film.
Yeah.
As just kind of like that kind of a question. I would love it. I mean, I thought
Yeah.
Dalton was great as James Bond. I thought he got the short end of the stick
Yeah.
as far as doing it. They had all those legal troubles sort of crop
Yeah.
in, and License to Kill wasn't marketed that well.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
great to get another. I would love to see it.
Same here.
Yeah.
I tell you what. I mean, honestly, every time I pick on License to Kill, it's got nothing to do with Dalton. It's really about, like I said, him getting kind of just the short stick. You know, I kind of feel
Right,
like they
right.
didn't give him enough. It was like, again, the film just had this sort of like movie of the week feel to it, and but yeah, I would love that. I wouldn't even mind like with that in mind, like just a whole like series kind of like Bond What If. You know, like remember the Marvel comic What If?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
used to
which
love
actually they're
that.
going to do
Yeah.
into a show, by the way, which I'm kind of curious to
Are they
see. Yeah,
really?
that's apparently it's one of the Disney Plus shows that are coming out, so I'm curious to see
Hmm.
what they do with that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that'd be
it
great.
might actually be animated. I'm not positive, but anyway. But yeah, I mean, just the idea of doing something like that with Bond, where I mean, it's funny because like I did my interview with Jack Lugo yesterday, and we kind of got into you know, like how the like you know the debate over where Bond should go, what should happen with the Bond movies, and you know, at one point we, you know, it was kind of like, well, there was only one way to go, like the Bond series kept very consistent, and if you were going to make a change, that was it. But we're kind of living in a world now with the streaming shows and stuff. Like you could do more than one thing. You could kind of go off do a show. You could go off and do something else. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Walter says, "Tee hee, as a kid, scared the crap out of me."
Did he really? Oh, that's it's not Jeffrey Holder. I'm trying to think of the actor off
Yeah,
the top of my head who played him.
yeah.
But he's a terrific actor. Did a lot of black exploitation films. But yeah, that's interesting that he's scared. You know, he is kind of yeah. I guess in that scene at the end in the
Yeah.
train, I guess if you're a kid, that's pretty
I
scary.
actually, you know, it's funny
Yeah.
because when I think of him, I kind of think more of the train scene, where the little Trekkie, what's up? Thank you, brother. Um, I think of Teehee in that train scene where he gets his claw cut on the window, and I kind of thought that was sort of chilling. Like when Bond is clipping,
Yeah.
like I felt more scared
Yeah.
for him than by him.
Right.
Little Trekkie says, "Do you
Yeah.
think this film will end the broccoli era?"
I do.
Yeah,
I really do. I think they're done. They kind of they've been dragging their heels on this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it's scheduling conflicts and Daniel Craig and getting him back and what they're going to do. I feel that they had some home runs with Casino Royale and Skyfall. Um, I think they're done. I really do. I think they want to go off and do other stuff.
mm.
I think that after this film comes out eventually, which will probably be 2025, that we'll be seeing somebody else take the reins. I really
Yeah.
do.
Well, you know what's interesting. Well, first of all, I kind of agree with you, and it's almost like I hate to say that, but as I sort of weigh back and forth what I know, I kind of feel like I don't have anything in my wheelhouse I like if somebody said to me, if I was going to say yes, the broccoli's definitely going to go forward, and somebody said to me, okay, give me one fact to support that. What have you seen that you think, you know, suggest that to you? I'd be like, nothing.
Yeah, no, there's every indication to it's to the contrary.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost seems
But
like
I
you can
think the
point to like,
series is going to go on, and I just sort of hope it
oh yeah,
finds the right hands.
oh it will, yeah.
Yeah. Because you got
I saw that. It was interesting that video you did on the Bond experience
Mm.
with David Zariski and his daughter, and it was kind of her perspective from being a 20-something, and what she thought of the whole James Bond franchise, and was she excited about the new film, and so on and so forth. And she was kind of like, whatever. And yeah, I think that they might be ready after. I think this to die another day. This No Time to Die is going to do really well when it eventually comes out.
By the way,
I think it will.
Julius Harris.
Yes, Julie. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. You guys are great.
All
Yes, Julius
Groups
Harris.
1071. Joe and Scott, who's your favorite Bond girl? One each.
Ooh, who just popped into my head, which is just crazy. And but I guess I just watched Skyfall, so maybe that's why. But it's that Bernice Burlow.
Okay.
I really liked her. But going on to somebody like a main Bond girl. Let me go off the top of my. I really like Claudine Auger.
Okay.
I really do. But it's got to probably be Diana. It's a toss up between Diana Rigg or Eva Green. Yeah,
Yeah,
those two.
that I
I'm gonna go with Diner
yeah.
just for the
I
hell
tell you what, I think just for the sake of variety, I know we said one each, but honestly, I feel
Just for
like
the
if I
record.
said one, okay, Diana Rigg, goodbye. But, I mean, but on Diana Rigg is great, Vesper's great, and if I went on a little more, I think a very underrated one is Cara Malloy. Frankly, I think she's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's terrific.
You know,
Yeah.
what are some other ones? I mean, there's just so many good ones. I mean, Ursula Andress is incredible. We did the
Oh yeah.
podcast the other day with Lana Wood and
I was thinking about that podcast. You had Trina
yep,
Parks, Lana Wood, and Caroline
yep,
Monroe, and I was thinking about those. They didn't really have huge
yeah,
roles in those films, but they were like shooting stars.
yeah,
They made such an impact in their short time on
yep.
screen that they're completely memorable.
Yep. No, that's very true. Very
Yeah.
true. And actually,
Yeah.
I was kind of waiting for you to say Naomi. I was like, when are you going to talk about
Naomi. Oh
yeah,
yeah, no, yeah,
Katarina
yeah.
Monroe
No,
is incredible.
no. When you go into yeah, no. She's definitely up there. She's in the top three for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Carol Monroe's
Yeah.
terrific.
Super cool.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw more Happy Birthday, Scott.
Oh, thank you.
Let's
Cool.
see. Joe and Scott, we all love
So
going
true.
to the theaters for the ultimate experience. This is Spy DYR Unlimited. We all love going to the theaters for the ultimate experience. If No Time to Die gets pushed again, would you rather have it for VOD just to get closure, like just to get it over with?
Uh, Obviously, I want that big experience. Parts of this, if not all of it, was filmed in
Mm,
IMAX. Maybe you guys can help me out there. I know that a good chunk of it was filmed in IMAX anyway. I want to see it in IMAX,
yeah.
for sure. I want to see it with a crowd. I want to see it in a crowd without masks. I want to see it where everybody's sitting together and we're all
Yeah.
eating popcorn.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to happen. And I was thinking about this too in the release. New York and LA have to open their theaters in order for this thing to come out. And if they're still closed in November, we're not going to get it. But anyway,
Yeah, and
a
that's
VOD, but going to the question, the VOD, um, I'm almost to the point where by that time, if it's like November or something, I'll be like, yeah, just give it to me VOD. I'll take it.
yeah.
You know.
It's funny, and me and Jack Lugo were talking about this yesterday, and every time that subject comes up, I'm like, but it really depends on all the factors,
Yeah.
if it's a matter of, I mean, like on one end of the spectrum, you have. Like, well, what if it got leaked? What if a copy slipped out? Would you watch it? No. Well, what if everybody was watching it except you? Well, then, yeah, that's another thing.
This has become sort of a fun parlor
Yeah,
game.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so it really just depends on where we are at the time. But I
Right.
also did kind of come to the like, well, okay, well, what if? What if it's November X but what if the theaters were still open but not 100% open, so they're not even going to bother doing like a full. So what if you had the choice? Okay, it's going to come out November 1st. You could either watch it on the comfort of your couch or go to the theater and watch it. I'd be hard pressed. I'm not sure which I would pick, frankly.
I would definitely if I would probably go, if the theater was an option, I would go because um, when they did the Scorsese film, The
Mm.
Irishman, about a week before it came on Netflix, there was an independent theater by me that was showing it, and I went out and saw
Yeah.
it. So I wanted that theater experience. So it's same thing applies to this film. If I can see it in the theater, I'll go see it. I really will.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But if it's not
Yeah.
available, we're gonna see. That's the thing, though. They're shooting for the fences on this one. They
Mm.
wanted to make like the over the $1 billion that say Skyfall made.
Mm.
So it's got to be we got to be at 100% for them to release this
Right.
film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not going to go for well, it's okay to just release it in some rural America. We don't have to worry about New York and LA. That's not going to
Yeah.
happen. It's got to, and plus the UK internationally, it's all got to be open. It's got to be all or
Well,
nothing.
that's the thing. I mean,
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, no, listen. If
Everything or
there you
nothing.
go.
Man.
That is the thing. Is I mean, aside from just kind of what I would personally would like to do, right? I mean, the film
Right.
has to perform, and if they don't get that good
Yes.
theater run, I mean, because again, they've already spent their money. They spent money as if
Right.
this was going to be a blockbuster theater run film, and they've also done all
Precisely.
their marketing, and they've had to postpone it,
Mhm.
which costs money. So they're
Right.
already behind the eight ball. So it's that's the problem. Like if it just went to straight to video, I think it would be I don't know how they would recoup their investment, frankly. And then you worry about the future of the franchise, frankly. Tony O'Grady, hi Joe. Since I did not get a chance to ask you a drink question last weekend, what is your favorite Bond drink? Personally, I would probably have to pick, like if somebody said, okay, this is the drink that you're gonna have to drink for the rest of your life, I would probably pick the mojito. I mean, the mojito is just a spectacular cocktail.
Oh, the Die Another Day
Yeah.
mojito.
Too strong for you?
No, the mojito's a great drink, but it's that
Terrible
movie.
memories.
I don't.
Just bad memories with a great.
No.
Yeah. I think the Sazerac is really good too, though. By the way, I think a Sazerac is a very. If you're ever in New Orleans, it's a very interesting drink, and it kind of, I feel like, sort of captures that.
And it's
flavor.
live and let die.
There you go. There you go. And I like that Lighter has to correct him. 2 Sazeracs.
That's cool. I'm gonna be traditional and go with the Vespa.
There you go. Very cool. Did you have it the way that Alan made it when we were in Atlanta with the Cokie Americano?
I did not.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I
wish I had.
Get some Cokie Americano.
I'm gonna do that though. I'm gonna get the whole thing where it's like all legit, and one maybe on a live cast or something. I'll have the Vespa.
Yep. Very cool. AMC won't show No Time to Die if they show it on VOD. Yeah, Regal won't show it either. Yeah, that's the thing. That whole little back and forth with Universal and AMC. I really hope. I think that'll kind of. Rum Collins, another good one. Sazerac.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that clears up all that kind of nonsense, and I get where Universal is. I was really surprised when that happened, by the way, and I'm sure you know all about that. That little dust up. I would have thought Universal would have held their cards a little closer to the vest. Like, what would be the point for them to say we're going to do more stuff on VOD? Because all you're going to do is annoy your.
They were in. Well, the thing is, extraordinary circumstances, obviously, but they were in a contractual agreement with them, and they sort of, they voided not voided the contract, but they sort of went out of the contract and showed the film on VOD. And as far as No Time to Die goes, because it's kind of weird, because I think MGM UA is going to distribute here in America, I believe, and then Universal is going to do the distribution rights internationally. So. But the thing is, it's not like, well, we don't have to worry here in America. This is being distributed by MGM, Nah. Because if it's Universal and they're not showing it internationally, then they're not going to show it. Yeah. So we're still in the pickle, So
yeah, it's very true. You're absolutely right. I mean, this is a whole different set of circumstances. I would never base any future anything on what's happening right now, because I mean, we're going to get back to normal at some point. I think it's
right. I think Universal could have done a better job, maybe because AMC has their own streaming service. Yeah. If they had maybe made a deal with them and said, "Hey, look, let's show it on your streaming service," But then you might have Regal getting in an uproar. So maybe there's no winning. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, you're right, and it's it's a weird, like, again, it's a whole weird new world, frankly. With the whole theater versus home and stuff.
And I kind of see Universal's point, hey, we got mouths to feed, we got people to pay, we got employees here, we got to make some money. Yeah. I get that too. So it's kind of like one of these weird situations.
Yeah. No, it's it's frustrating. Jerome C, AMC is near bankruptcy. They'll screen commercials to stay alive. Yeah, it's I'm with you.
I've heard a rumor that Amazon wants to buy AMC. And if they did, it would be kind of neat if they rolled in through your Prime membership. If they rolled in that A-list thing, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with the theater thing, though, is like it's kind of like these restaurants today where they say, "Well, you could open, but you open at 25% capacity," and they're like, "No, I can't make a profit like that. I'd be hemorrhaging money." Theaters, if you dilute the theater experience by having, again, the choice between VOD and theaters, I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. By the way, there's a lot of really good questions going by, so please don't take it personally if I don't get to it, just because I'm watching them quickly go by. Feel free to ask again if we didn't get to it. I won't take it personally.
And also, quickly, too, it's the environment too. I was like, okay, I'm going to pay a premium price. I'm going to go there. I have to wear, like, let's say, I have to wear a mask the entire time I'm there. Otherwise, I'm going to get, thrown out or whatever. So I got to do that. But how am I going to eat my popcorn while I'm wearing my mask and all this other kind of stuff? So, and is it going to be comfortable? And there's this
Mm.
whole rush of questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they're going to have to make it where they're going to have to loosen up on some of this stuff. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
Spy DUIR.
but
They actually somebody said bring back drive-in theaters. There's actually one by me, and apparently it's
yeah,
opening this weekend.
yeah,
So I'm kind of happy about that. I hope.
is that
Yeah.
right? In Jersey? No
And remember
way.
the Warwick Drive-in?
Yeah, is it that one?
Yeah, still there. Yeah.
Oh, so it's still
Yeah.
going.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
cool.
Yeah, super cool.
I have the Starlight. I have the Starlight here in Atlanta. I was there a couple times. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Daxton is asking, when are we going to get the Skyfall Inspector reviews? You can see my Skyfall stuff behind me. So we're ready.
We were primed to do that today,
Yeah.
but we're gonna get to that.
Before you got here, I was sort of explaining. I said Scott and I were ready. Scott was ready to go, and my day just sort of got upended. Lorenzo said, "Happy birthday, Scott." Thank you, Lorenzo.
Thank you very much, sir.
Let's see. I saw. Where did I see? Which Bond actor would you like to have done another film, ignoring age? That's probably a given for me,
Oh,
and probably for you.
you mean? Oh, he means like another film in the series. I feel like when my first thing was like Sean Connery, but then he had kind of had his share, and I think we talked about before. It was probably be Timothy Dalton.
I think
I
think Dalton for me would be the same.
Yeah. Although Lazenby might would have been a kind of interesting.
Yep. Yeah, no, very true. Yeah, I think I would have definitely liked to have seen. Somebody asked me not that long ago. Walt says, "Love the Warwick Drive-In."
Yes, yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, that was it's a great place. I mean, I have a lot of fond memories there actually.
Somebody asked me recently. The way they framed the question was great, and it was something like, "What would you rather see?" Was it Lazenby do Diamonds, Dalton do Goldeneye, or Brosnan do Living Daylights?
I'll take all the
Right?
above. No, they're all great ideas. At first I want to say, oh, Dalton and Goldeneye is interesting, but it's so kind of tailored to Brosnan, and he's so perfect in it.
Yeah.
That it's kind of like, yeah, it would be great it'd be a great oddity.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm. John Goldeneye says, "I prefer a fun, energetic, and lighthearted Bond film as opposed to a thinking man's Bond film." Yeah, it's interesting because Bond is it is a lot of things to a lot of people. So
yes,
it's one of those no right answers, but I can make the case for both though.
I think after this Craig era, I think you're probably going to get some of that. That's my suspicion anyway. So hang in there.
There you go. Finn Flash, it's Scott's birthday. Very nice birthdays to you, mate.
Thank you.
Cool. I see a lot of people said Dalton Goldeneye. Okay, again, I'm with you on the Dalton.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's an interesting one. Yeah.
Dalton got shortchanged.
with Lazenby and Diamonds would be really interesting.
Yeah. See, again,
but you know what?
It would have been a different world if that had happened, though.
I was doing a little research into Diamonds. It would have been different though, because originally Diamonds, with Lazenby in it, was going to be a revenge theme.
Yeah.
And Richard Maybaum did an outline, with that premise. When it became clear Lazenby wasn't coming back, they scrapped that whole idea.
Yeah.
And then they came up with the whole, they were going to do Goldfinger's twin brother at one point, but then they settled on the whole Blofeld plot thing. But yeah, that would, so it would have been a different Diamonds Are Forever if Lazenby had done it. Yeah.
Some comments about Daniel Craig's performance, that maybe his performance changed a little with Skyfall. And another one that says,
absolutely, I agree with that.
I never really noticed that, but
he's doing. Yeah, and he actually said in an interview, he was like, "Yeah, I'm tired of the rough edges. I wanted to be a little more Roger Moore like." I remember him saying I'm paraphrasing, but he did say something like that. And if you look at the movie, it's there, like in the chase scene and the sort of cavalier attitude towards the whole thing, and the whole him parachuting and stuff like that. Very Roger Moore-ish, actually.
Yeah. Well, I think Spectre for sure. I mean, Spectre.
I meant that. What did I say? Skyfall. I meant Spectre.
But he said Skyfall too. That's why I was sort of like, but Spectre, I would totally agree with. I sort of feel like by Spectre, he's kind of just done with the whole thing. I watched somebody did a great video where they were pointing out, they did sort of a side by side comparison to the conversation with Severin in Skyfall at the casino, and you see, and they show Bond leaning forward, he's leaning into her, leaning into the conversation. Then they show him in Spectre, where he's talking to Madeline for the first time, and he's way back in his chair, slouched, and it's like it's totally right. It's totally the opposite, you know.
No, I was watching Skyfall recently because we're gonna do the
Yeah.
review, and I was saying, you know what? It's Casino Royale's got great dialogue scenes, but this is pretty damn good. It's really great.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Skyfall is.
Credit to Purvis and Wade and John Logan. They did a great job there.
Yeah, I think they did. I think it's a good film, and listen, I agree with you. See, Skyfall to me, like, not just spoilers. I feel like we're gonna be reviewing it pretty soon, so I don't want to say too much about it. But I feel like,
what if we just did it right here?
I'll take this and just plop it down. And here's your Skyfall review.
Here you go.
Skyfall's not a perfect film, but damn it it looks like one. It for some reason they.
Yeah, no, I do. There's something about it. There's I was thinking to myself today. I was like, why can't I put this on the top shelf? It should be there, but I can't quite go there. It's a weird one. I don't know.
Again,
it's close though. It's close.
But there's so many plot holes. There's story holes.
I think it was. I'm not so bothered by. I know what you're saying, but I'm more. It's a little too Dark Knight-ish to me. The whole Joker thing. It's very similar. There's just a little too many similarities for my taste. Time. But that being said, great. It's a great film.
Alfred Valerie says, "Happy birthday, Scott."
Thank you very much.
Nice and loud. Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Super cool.
Caps.
Tim Hand says, "Joe, your lockdown beard is coming in as bushy as mine." Yeah, it's kind of getting all over the place. I was realizing I can finally start doing this if I want.
Oh yeah, you can do the whole villain thing.
Go, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh boy, this one. Stephen McNiff said Skyfall is overrated like Goldfinger. Ouch! Oh my God, he said it.
Wow!
He said it.
Wow! Slap it down, man.
You know what? I can't really. Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, I would say for different reasons, but I would probably say I agree that it's a tiny. I would agree that Goldfinger is a tiny bit overrated. I know it's kind of sacrilegious, but again, it's just okay. It's a good film, but for this one to be sort of like the gold standard, pun intended, for Bond, I don't know if I would agree with that.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
No, those films they're really popular. They might have their few flaws in them, but I think they deserve their reputation. They're really good films.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would not cut them down, but if somebody said, but they're not as, I don't know if they're worth all the hype, I'd be like, okay. Roger Deakins' cinematography is fire. I would agree with that. Mike Darlington says, agree. A little too much of the Dark Knight influence there.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Dean Holzefeld, thank you, brother. Thank you so much. What do you guys think we buy the franchise? I'm hoping Paramount, and then Macquarie directs with Cavill with Bond. He's done wonders with the Mission Impossible series. That's interesting. Paramount, Macquarie, and Cavill. Boy, all of a sudden my brain just started tinkering there. Oh, did I lose? I think I lost Scott for a second there.
Oh, here we go. We're back. We're back. Yeah, you froze.
Oh, sorry about that.
Did I freeze? I don't know. Was I live?
Yeah, you did freeze a second, but it just it looked just like you were kind of concentrating, so I didn't even notice it.
I'm in deep thought.
I had a great question, and this was, what do you guys think if we buy the franchise? I'm hoping Paramount and then Macquarie directs with Cavill as Bond. He's done wonders with the Mission Impossible series. I thought that was pretty interesting.
He has. I hate to say this, but those last two Mission Impossible movies, Rogue Nation, Fallout, they're kind of kicking Bond's ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joe?
I'm hard pressed to disagree, frankly. I
mean, well, no, I'll say they kick Spectre's ass. Let me be fair.
Yeah, that's gonna.
Yeah, but yeah,
especially when they're
because if you want to see a movie like Rogue Nation, if you want to see a spy movie about a super secret organization, with a lot of action, Rogue Nation.
infiltrating the.
Sorry.
Yeah, listen,
yeah.
I those Mission Impossibles, boy, they're really kind of just swinging hard for the fences, and they're pretty spectacular. Um,
Have you heard the next one? Tom Cruise is going to film it in space. It's like, whoa, dude, chill. What, you out of your
right?
mind?
I swear to God, though,
Idiot.
I could see it though. I mean, when I first saw the trailers for Maverick, and I'm like, like when I heard like, yes, that's him flying a plane. I'm like, I don't doubt it, because I mean that's this guy. Like he just kind of just goes nutty. He just wants to do the newest, biggest thing. So
I mean, he's crazy as a loon with that Scientology, but by God, he's like one of the hardest working action guys out there. Really.
I mean, no stunt people. I mean, he's nuts. So yeah. And honestly, I like by the time Fallout came out, I mean, I went. It's not often you can, like, I can remember going to see like the last Bourne movie, and the last.
Oh, Jason Bourne.
Yeah, like again, yeah. Here's a couple, like the Bourne series, the John Wicks, the Mission Impossibles. Like, these are films where when the new one's coming out, I'm going and my expectations are way up here, because I'm feeling confident. Like I've seen the consistency, I've seen the consistent quality, so I'm really excited to go see it, and I know it's going to be good. Bond movies, I'm like,
I know. I know. It seems like every other one. That's been the trend.
Yeah.
But so with that in mind, No Time to Die should be killer.
Really weird.
But we'll see.
It's funny how consistent that is. That they really do sort of go up
really
and down each one.
It's sort of been since, I guess, GoldenEye, maybe.
I think, honestly, personally, I think it's even. I kind of feel like it started with Dalton. I mean, and again, I know a lot of people would wildly disagree with this, but I kind of felt like honestly, like, Living Daylights comes out. It's a classic Bond film, classic feel. Everything is working. And then the second one, it kind of has this sort of like they're phoning it in. It's cheap. It's whatever. And then, then GoldenEye. I mean, all the Brosnan's easily up and down, and all the Craigs easily up and down.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I agree. I agree after Dalton.
Listen, like I said.
but I see where you're going there. And I think most people agree with you, because that movie is terrible, and especially in its U.S. release.
Yeah, and it had stiff competition, etc. The Bond Armory, what's up, brother? How's it going?
Was that a double entendre?
Ray from the Bond Armory says, between Mission Impossible and the Kingsman franchise, what does No Time to Die need to deliver to stay top of the throne? That's a great question.
Interesting, because I think, especially the first Kingsman had some great. I thought they had some great ideas in that, and they sort of took it to another level as far as a spy movie, and some that crazy, wild action scenes. But I see what you're saying. It's kind of like, okay, Bond needs to go to a new level. He needs to update a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I wish, Bond, for a while there, it was sort of like, he was like the Rolls Royce of action films. It was like, he came out every other year, and this was like a premium thing. You went to a James Bond film, you're going to get a premium experience. And I don't know if that, it's kind of maintained that for the most part, but it's not always a guarantee. Sometimes you're in a Volkswagen, so
Goops 1071 says, I finally realized why Skyfall did so unbelievably well at the box office. The 2012 Olympic opening ceremony sketch with Daniel Craig and the Queen. A worldwide commercial for Bond right there. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would actually agree. Boy, Scott's got problems with his equipment.
But these lights are terrible. I have to get new lighting because it's only on a battery. Hold on one second. Maybe you'll go turn on the lights. This happened, by the way. You get to see this live. This happens. Every other time we're doing our reviews, and we're almost done. We're like 5 minutes, and I'll be like, "Okay, come on, we can do this quick. Come on, let's go."
If you ever hear Scott going like, "Okay, my favorite part, my least favorite part," that's
if it's quick, my light's going. Hold on.
But I think that's a very interesting observation about Skyfall and the Queen, and I kind of felt like what that probably did was because I know from talking to my friends in the UK, they'll tell you that like for us, you know, Bond is a lot of people like Bond, a lot of people could care less, but when you're in the UK, it's just like this thing that you grow up with. So
Is that any better, my lighting, or does it look really
you're
bad?
fine. It's it's good.
Okay, okay.
Um, so
I guess I could turn this off. All right.
let's see what else. What do we got here? I feel like the Bond movie has more pressure to deliver emotional storylines after Casino Royale, whereas it's easier for the Kingsman and Mission Impossible just
That's
to be fun and spectacular.
that. That's a great point
Mm,
because they raised the bar,
yeah,
and then you don't get that in the next one. You're like,
mm,
huh, I missed that emotional punch. So yeah, moving forward, that can be a problem. They're trying to
yeah,
do that. They're really trying. I mean, with Skyfall, they tried it with M was that sort of emotional punch, and they certainly tried it with Spectre. It didn't quite come off, but
yeah,
and it's the doubling down here in No Time to Die. So we'll see what
yeah.
happens.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's a thing too. I like that they've brought emotion back into the films. I think that's a great idea because I mean honestly they were getting to be such spectacle with zero emotion, and I kind of wonder how long that you can do that for. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean yeah they're fun, just for a guys movie, guys night out, go see the new Bond movie, go see some good looking girls with some action, great.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's a question of what the Bond films really should be. Like, I mean, we're living in an era with, again, blockbuster superhero movies, Star Wars. Like, I don't know that James Bond should be really trying to compete with that. I mean, let that be the blockbuster entertainment. I don't mind Bond being a little more niche. Um, I mean, I've always said, like, I kind of like when James Bond is sort of like the best kept secret, like, sort of sneaking into your parents' liquor cabinet, you know? So that's my analogy for it. But yeah, I don't
Right.
know. I just kind of feel like I wonder if it's a losing battle to try to compete with those gigantic blockbusters.
Yeah, and you made an interesting point too on that on the Bond experience there with David
Mm,
Zarisky when you were saying that what if they went off did an offshoot like a Netflix show where they went back and they did the novels and they just made it like sort of like a
mm,
series, and you just and it was like smaller, but it was it was in the
yeah,
late 50s, early
yeah,
60s, and took place
yeah,
there, and it's an interesting
hmm
idea
yeah,
where you can get more character as opposed to like these crazy action sequences that cost
yeah.
millions,
Tim Hands has
plus
a
CGI
yeah.
nowadays.
Tim Hands has got a great question. Question for Joe and Scott. What makes James Bond so unique compared to your own spy heroes in the USA, like Jason Bourne, Ethan Hunt, and Jack Ryan? Personally, I mean, I think it's the elegance. I think it's the sophistication that comes with it.
Yeah,
But I
Bond's just
just
cooler.
right. I mean, just super cool, right? You want to be James
Right,
Bond. You don't want to be Jason Bourne.
right.
I don't want to be running around in a sweater and in the snow, not having showered for a week. I
And also, if all four of those guys, right, walked into a bar,
mm,
right, the hottest girl there, she's walking out with
there you
James
go,
Bond
right?
because he's going to have the lines, he's going to have it all,
Pretty much, yes.
and that's the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, and
those guys can run off,
yeah,
Ethan Hunt can be ejected into outer space and live,
yeah.
but James Bond,
I mean,
man,
and
he's got to go
it's
on.
an interesting problem too because again, I sometimes when Mary and I just watched that series. It's not that new anymore. What was it called? It was called Fleming, and it was like a 4-part miniseries. It was on Netflix.
Okay, is that the? That's not the one with Charles Dance. I'm thinking of one that's way back.
Yeah, sure. I think the one that's back a little further.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay, okay.
there's actually been a couple. So yeah, this was like I guess this was the newest one. It was 4 parts, and boy, I was watching it.
I didn't even know
It was very soap opera-y. I don't know if I would recommend it because it was interesting, and I'm glad I saw it because I just want to be up on, the.
right.
But yeah, it was very soap opera. It was like almost 50 Shades of Grey at some point, and I'm like, are we really doing this? Like what? Like we so. Um, but it really kind of reminded me as I was watching it because again, it's set in the 50s and it's set in World War II. Not I'm thinking the 50s because
Mhm.
that's when Fleming wrote the books, but it was set in World War II. And again, everybody dresses for dinner. Everybody's wearing, like there was a scene where they're hunting, and they're wearing
Mm-hmm.
like suit and tie under their hunting thing. So it's like these guys never didn't dress up. Everything was elegant, everything was posh, and I kind of feel like some of what James Bond is to many people is really just kind of a throwback to just how we were back then, when everyone dressed up, etc. You know,
That is fascinating, and that's something I like about that era, especially when as far as James Bond is concerned. But because it's almost, I guess James Bond runs the
Mm.
risk of being a little, out of time a
Yeah,
little bit,
right,
you know.
right. That's the
And
thing.
because I remember watching these. I saw these old clips from the turn of the
Mm.
century, from the early
Yeah,
1900s of a train pulling into it was like a station in New York City, I
right.
think, or maybe Grand Central. I'm not exactly sure, but everybody was dressed to the nines. They had these elegant dresses
Mm.
on and top hats and so forth, and you just want to see that today. It's just not going to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Crazy.
I tell you, you know, that's exactly right. I mean, it's how do you modernize Bond without just having him wear sweatpants and go to Walmart? Like I mean, it's kind of like the whole world has just gotten so casual. Like it's and I know and I
Yeah.
notice in see what I like about it is like especially the Craigs, they're trying to sort of introduce him to a casual look, but still kind of doing it in a little more of a like you're putting some thought into what you're wearing. Um,
Right.
So yeah, it is a real like I mean I remember even in the Brosnan era I remember it was like they were struggling more and more every time to try to find an excuse to put him in a tux. Like we're so used to seeing
Yeah.
and again like seriously like James Bond is a character that we associate with tuxedos, but it's really more to do with the fact that he was just a character from that era where people got dressed up. So it's
So how do you? It's like, how do you solve that?
right. Yeah,
You
yeah.
put them back in that
There you
era.
go.
You
I
know.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oliver says, "Do you like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang by Dionne Warwick?"
I love it. I think there's two versions, right? There's Shirley Bassey
Yep.
recorded a version of it too. I like Dionne Warwick's the best. I think she hit it,
Yeah.
right out of the
Yeah.
park. It was great. I would love that had. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that had made it, or at least in the end credits. That speaking of that, I want to bring since we're on the subject of Thunderball. And the American cut, they have this John Barry outro where it's not the James Bond theme that we now that it's on the Blu-ray, it's on
Mm,
on the streaming and everything else. You can't really get a hold
yeah.
now. It's become rare to get hold of that American version that has the outro music that Barry originally wrote. I'd like to see that back. If
Mm,
they ever do like a 4K or something, I wish they could have you could toggle between two different
yeah. Yeah.
versions. I think we need a deluxe
Yeah.
Thunderball, going
Yeah.
on here.
There's an interesting
Anyway,
little back and
yeah.
forth going on. Somebody says, "Do we need a Bond universe like Marvel or Star Wars?" And other people are saying, "No, no, no." um, I,
I can't wait for the Jinx movie
yeah,
myself.
yeah, we're still waiting for that Jinx movie. By the way, somebody mentioned, yeah, the movie I was talking about, Fleming, was with Dominic Cooper. Charles Dance appeared in the '89 TV movie Goldeneye, which is probably I think that's the only
Yes.
one I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
By the way.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I remember seeing
Yeah,
that.
I remember
Yeah.
this. I remember Spy Maker, the one with Connery's brother. I do remember that one. You know what's interesting when you watch these, and I really should watch that Goldeneye one. Maybe I should do a whole episode like comparing all three. This,
That'd be cool.
because it's interesting. Because I remember the one, the one. Michael Darlington says Bond works best when it bucks the trend. I would agree with that. Instead of trying to chase the trends, I agree. Yeah.
Absolutely. Great point.
The Spy Maker one, there was a plot thread where Fleming had this girlfriend, and it was sort of like a on again off again thing, and there was a scene at the end. The big finale was him like running to claim his lost love, and right as he got to the building, a bomb blows up. And again, this is like literally like during the bombing of London, like in again World War II. And
Hmm.
like kind of right before his eyes, his loved one blows up in a bomb attack. Well, they
Uh-huh.
kind of did that they addressed that again in this one, but in this one, it was hardly his long lost love. It was just a girl he was seeing, and she sort of gets blown up off camera. And so it was sort of interesting how like a lot of these films will take the actual events of Fleming and rearrange them in a way, for dramatic tension or whatever. Jason Connery, Sean's son, that was the guy. The other one, yeah.
Yeah, and that series you're describing, it says, "Join us next week for another episode of Fleming." I just I don't know. It doesn't sound good.
It was a little strange.
Yeah.
I should definitely check out the GoldenEye one because that's like I said, I really should try to watch all of them.
The only thing I remember, I haven't seen that in ages. I probably saw it in 89, 90. The one thing I remember is they tell him to quit smoking, and he just sounded like, "Yeah." Mm-hmm. Next scene, he's like smoking. He's not quitting. Yeah.
Oops, 1071 says Jinx the movie _ your mama. Subtitle your mama. I love that.
I kind of, but it in like another separate universe. Would you rather have the Catwoman or the Jinx movie? I kind of would like to see the Jinx movie instead of that Catwoman movie, but whatever.
Well, if these are,
you know what I'm
if
saying?
these are my choices, I don't know. That's like, would you rather have root canal or, we'll put it this way. At least the Catwoman movie, I don't have to, like, no one's going to look at me and say, "Hey, Bond fan, what about your Jinx movie over there?" Catwoman is a whole different.
Well, yeah. You'd probably be badgered all the time. Yeah. Oh, what about that Jinx movie?
Go watch your Jinx movie. John Goldeneye has a good question. Do you miss the credit songs like in License to Kill and Goldeneye? I do. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally do. I don't know why that stopped. That was a great way to get some extra music. I mean, and when you hear some of the songs that didn't get chosen that are actually really good, why not use those for the end titles?
And this brings up a good point. You reminded me of something I wanted to get off my chest that's been bothering me. Yeah. On these soundtracks, I'm tired of them not including the title song. Skyfall, if you buy the CD sound, you won't get it. I don't think it's Spectre, the writing on the wall is not included. That's got to stop.
Yeah.
No more.
No more. I agree with you.
But this line here. No further.
We're also kind of living in an age where, I know we're kind of purists. Here's an example. You want to see my the Skyfall CD with Adele? Yeah. That's actually the single soundtrack. I just put a picture of it in there because I don't have the Adele CD.
Naughty.
But honestly, we download these things so fast. It's like,
oh yes, I actually bought the actual CD.
There you go, the actual thing.
I bought the actual CD. Well, you can see in here. Okay, I don't know if you can see with that my great lighting now, but yeah. But I had to buy this because on this CD,
yes,
not available.
Yeah.
Not available. So I got to buy 2 CDs. Come on, man.
Right, but again, in fairness, we're the dinosaurs, and nobody is saying like we got to print a CD because Scott Adkins is going to buy one.
Well, too, I was looking into the records. I was saying because I have a few of the old LPs of the James Bond soundtracks, but I was kind of looking. They released a couple editions of Skyfall in different variations. And I'm looking at it, and the only thing in the Amazon review, it's like 1 does not include the Adele song.
So by the way, I have to kind of wind this down because my girlfriend's coming over for dinner, and if I'm not ready, I'm going to
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
No Good About Goodbyes by Shirley Bassey, 007 Hub. Yes, great one. I thought that was terrific.
What was that one?
Shirley Bassey did a cover track called No Good About Goodbye. It was basically a pitch to do the Quantum theme, and it was great.
Really, I never heard that. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to bring this up, and then we'll be off. The writings on the wall. We were just talking about the title songs. I heard the Cue the Music version of that, and all of a sudden that song came alive to me. And because there's nothing wrong with the orchestration, it's a beautifully written song. It's the vocal for me. And when I heard the Cue the Music version of it, I was like,
"Yeah,
it's it. It's boom." It came home.
My girlfriend's calling me. I'm like, "Hey, babe."
Okay. You're live.
No, you're fine. That's good.
Meanwhile, let me get. I'm gonna juggle some balls here.
All right, very good. Yes, I do.
Ah, the dragon's milk. It's really good.
No problem.
There's a
I got it.
party in every bottle.
All right. All right, very good. I love you. I'll see you shortly. See ya.
And it's live, folks. You get a slice of the head of section's private life
Exactly.
here.
Yes, that. So that
Yeah.
that, as they say, is
Well,
my cue.
you have to make the trek. You have to make the trek from the studio to the Darlington mansion.
This is true. This is true. I have to drive 3 hours down the coast to get back to stately Darlington Manor.
Right.
My brother, thank you so much again. We will definitely.
Thank you,
but
man.
we will definitely do this again. Like I said, we're going to be doing Skyfall very soon, and we will follow.
Yeah,
up
that'd be
with
cool.
A nice live stream.
This was a blast.
All right,
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes, all that great stuff. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Again, good impromptu happy hour.
You guys are great.
And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Scott, happy birthday again, my
Yes,
friend. Happy
very
birthday.
much. Thank you very much. Thank you very Appreciate that.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, later.
Take care.
Bye.